Hey guys, how's it going? So, today I am going to do a first impression let's play review of this game called Chains of Freedom. Before we actually get into my usual intro of the game, we can see here immediately, once upon us starting up the game, we already have an issue. And this is an issue which I have found in quite a big amount of games where they don't tell you what is changing with the different difficulty options. This is one thing that I really don't like, because the choice of the difficulty options, whether you choose easy, normal, or hard, it's going to affect your entire playthrough. The next 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, whatever amount is going to be affected by this choice. So you should know what impact this choice is going to have on your gameplay. And unfortunately, when a developer does this, when a developer doesn't provide you with enough information, or any information in some cases, to make an informed decision, that really just spoils your entire playthrough. Because, like, this is normal, and this is easy, and this is difficult, or hard, whatever you want to say. But how hard is hard, really? You know? They say here enemies hit harder. How much harder? Is it 1% harder? Is it 2% harder? Is it 77 trillion% harder? The same with a resource drop at a reduced rate. What is the reduced rate of resource drops? Is it 2% less? Is it 5% less? Is it 7 trillion% less? Like, when the developer refuses to tell the player what is actually changing by how much, that is really irritating, because it would have took zero effort from the developer, zero additional effort, to just put in here, when they say enemies provide a moderate challenge, just put in quotation marks or whatever, 100% damage. And then over here, enemies hit harder, just put in quotation marks or whatever, 150% damage or whatever, something like that. It takes so little fucking effort, and yet it really affects the player in a negative way, because the player cannot make an informed decision with the information that they're provided, because they're not being provided with anything. The only real information in all of this bullshit that you get is year 3. So downed allies must be revived within 3 turns. Here it is 2 turns, and here there is no turn limit. That is the only actual information that these developers are giving to you as the player with regards to the difficulty options. So that's already a really bad start, in my opinion. So we are going to choose normal, and we get the intro cinematic apparently. Even though it's that very lazy still animation format.
The sovereignty stepped up when no one else would. They eradicated corruption, contained the bizarre mutations, and led us from the brink of collapse into the era of prosperity that we cherish today. Now, there's finally a world where we're not constantly living in fear. A stability we can count on.
Quit dreaming, Corbin. We're almost there.
6 minutes to target.
Burn this into your retinas, boys. Dr. Svetlov, a revolutionary with a vendetta against the sovereignty.
May its light never dim. Intel says he's got mind control abilities. How do we defend against it?
Mind control only works if you have a mind, Derek. So you're in the clear.
We know his mind control bioweapon isn't airborne. We're safe as long as we stay away. So, keep your distance. All right, let's take this lunatic down for messing with the sovereignty.
May its light never dim.
5 minutes to target.
I still don't get it. What's the point of rebelling against the sovereignty?
Keeps you employed, peacekeeper.
But what's Ven...
Oh, what the hell was that? Prepare for crash landing.
Parachutes now!
Okay, so the cutscenes aren't completely still images. They actually have a little bit of animation
Derek,
built in as well.
come on.
It's not completely lazy, even though I would prefer just like a little bit more effort when it comes to
What?
the cutscenes or the cinematics.
I don't think it was a missile. It was something else.
Where are the others?
Fidel and Sola shoot it off.
Okay, so this is another thing that I don't like. Directly dropping the player into the game without presenting a menu, a setup menu or anything like that. I really don't like that either, because I literally just started up the game and yet they immediately drop you into the game. So before I even look at the settings menu, let me do my little intro spiel. So today we are going to be playing and reviewing Chains of Freedom. It is a $25 game. The developer sent me a key for the game. It is a turn-based strategy type game, almost like XCOM, for instance. I actually really like XCOM 2 specifically, and obviously it can also probably be compared to something like Baldur's Gate 3, for instance. So today I am going to play the game for an hour or more, depending how long it takes me to form an opinion on the game. If you are in a hurry and you don't want to watch the full 1 hour or more of the video, you can simply skip to the last 10 minutes or so of the video. I will put a timestamp in the description below and you can just skip to that timestamp if you only want to hear my quick, concise, final opinion on the game. But if you're not in such a hurry, you can just stay tuned and I will be playing through the game and I will be giving you my running commentary as I play through the game. And I will be telling you what I think is good and bad about the game as we play through the game today. And then, as always, all of my reviews probably contain swearing, so if you don't like swearing, probably don't watch the video, probably unsubscribe. So, this is the very first game from this studio, so I don't really know what to expect. We're just gonna really have to see. When a game developer has never done a game before, you know, it's like you're almost a little bit dubious on what to expect and what the quality of the game is going to be. One thing that I'm also noticing is the fact that the game freezes completely when you alt tab. So I don't like that. When you alt tab or when the game loses focus, the game completely freezes and the audio also completely falls away. So I'm definitely not a fan of that in games. So we will set that at high. The game is set to normally run at 2K resolution, which is fine. It's set to run at borderless full screen, which is fine. There's no frame rate option, so if we turn off VSync, do we then get presented with a frame rate option? Or not at all? Yeah, we don't get a frame rate option. So that's a pretty big issue. The fact that you can't even adjust the frame rate of the game, that's a pretty bloody big issue. I mean, for a $25 game, not being able to adjust the frame rate at all, that's pretty bad, to be honest. Otherwise than that, the quality level is not really what you want to see. Ideally, you want to see shadow quality, character quality, environmental detail, texture quality, shadow quality, draw distance, all of that kind of stuff. And when the developers put all of that into a single quality thing, that really doesn't give you a lot of customization or a lot of choice. So this is not what you want to see. A single quality modifier in the game menu is not what you want to see. So that's not good either, in addition to the fact that you can't even change the frame rate of the game. You also can't change the field of view of the game, even though in a top-down game like this, that's not such a huge issue. Normally in first-person shooters, I would definitely have an issue with them not allowing you to change the field of view, but in a top-down game, not being able to change the field of view isn't so bad. And then another issue is the fact that they don't even allow you to change the controls. So key rebinding is not possible in the game at all. Literally nothing can be rebound at all. So that's really bad. Not being able to change any of the keybinds is really bad. That's really, really bad. In fact, I would almost say that it is worse than not being able to change the frame rate of the game, to be honest. So yeah, overall, not happy at all with the settings. The settings are really quite bad, exceptionally bad for a $25 game. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into the actual game. Can you zoom in and out? No, you can't zoom in and out. I'm scrolling my mouse wheel and nothing is happening. It also feels like there's a little bit of mouse smoothing going on. It really feels like it a little bit, which, I mean, it's not bad. The mouse is very responsive, but it definitely feels like there's some mouse smoothing going on. And as we saw in the options menu, there's no place to turn off the mouse smoothing, so that's another issue.
A charred mass of unusable equipment surrounds the wreckage of the Sovereign L-13. The helicopter's windshield, shattered by a violent impact, suggests a sudden loss of control that led to the crash. Unrecoverable ammunition dots the area, adding to the bleakness. From the pilot's seat, a blood trail snakes through the debris and vanishes into a dark cave nearby.
Why would the ammunition be unrecoverable?
Let's follow the blood. Leads to that cave.
So we just so happened to have dropped near this building.
Corbin here. Derek's with me. The pilot is missing.
Your gear intact?
Affirmative. The bird's toast, though.
We see your smoke. Now listen up. Svetlov's followers might be brain dead, but they're not blind. Get the fuck away from the wreck. Find the pilot and assume a defensive position. In that order. That clear?
Yes, sir. Over and out. That's not where the blood trail leads.
Maybe we should check our backs before we go looking for the pilot?
Not if that costs us his life.
Who built these?
Someone who wanted to keep shit out. Come on, let's get back on track.
Okay, so we can't open that. There's an invisible wall there. Okay, so the game is very much linear, at least at the beginning of the game, with the invisible walls not allowing you to explore.
Did you hear that? Something's there. Shh. Ready your gun. Sovereign, protect us. May its light never dim. Is that Eden?
It has to be. Damn. Never seen anything like this before. It's even more ugly than I pictured.
Oh, forget how it looks. It's still Eden. Any mistake here could be our last. Watch your back.
Why are you worried? We're immunized.
Doesn't mean I feel good being this close. You know what they can do.
Okay, we have no idea what Eden is.
Inside the cave, a sprawling Eden biocrystal formation looms. Its jagged edges cast long, dark shadows along the damp cave walls. The air reeks of a sharp, vile stench, reminiscent of decay. The alien-like biocrystals spread like a malignant cancer throughout the cave, a disturbing blend of life and death.
Okay, that makes me think that this game is using GI, Generative Intelligence voiceovers, because nobody ever would pronounce this jagged. Jagged. Who the hell would pronounce it jagged? Like, that makes me think that this game is using GI voiceovers. Also, in the previous one by the helicopter, the female narrator pronounced helicopter strangely as well. I noticed that. So it would seem that it's very possible that this game is using GI voiceovers, which I don't have a huge issue with, as long as it's like good quality. You know, I've said this multiple times in previous reviews, where games either use GI voiceovers or they don't have any voiceovers at all. I actually recently, in the past week, reviewed a game called Maliki and the Poisonous Island, something like that. And that game was a $25 game, and it doesn't have voiceovers at all. And in that game as well, I said I would rather prefer voiceovers, GI voiceovers, than no voiceovers at all, especially in a $25 game. Because voiceovers, GI voiceovers, have become so cheap and ubiquitous, and they've become really good actually, that when you're charging $25 for a game, people have come to expect your game to have voiceovers, you know? Unless you're like a massively unscrupulous company like Nintendo or something like that, that has the absolute goal to charge $60 or $70 for a Pokemon game, and then they don't even have voiceovers at all in the game. That's just fucking diabolical. But honestly, once a game reaches above $20, I expect it to have voiceovers, at the very least GI voiceovers, and yeah, there's the one World of Warcraft mod called, incorrectly called AI voiceovers. Of course, there's no such thing as AI voiceover, but it should be called GI voiceovers. But anyway, it uses GI voiceovers. I'm not sure what um, a large language model it uses. I'm not sure, but the voiceovers for that mod, the AI voiceover mod in World of Warcraft, that is a community-made mod, is really, really high quality. It's a really high quality voiceovers. The orcs sound like orcs. The undead sound like undead. The gnomes sound like gnomes. It's really high quality. And in that voiceovers, they don't fucking pronounce it jagged. So it's clear that this developer is using a very strange large language model for their generative intelligence voiceovers, or they are just using a person who has very strange pronunciation, a female voice actress who has very strange pronunciation, because this is now the second word in the first 5 minutes of the game that I've noticed that is pronounced incorrectly. And this is coming from someone who isn't even a native English speaker, and I was able to notice the inconsistencies in the pronunciation. So, yeah, I don't have an issue with the game using a GI voiceovers, but shit like that they need to fix. They can't say jagged through the entire fucking game. That just would piss me off, hearing jagged over and over and over again. So they need to fix that, or they need to instruct their voice actor to pronounce words fucking correctly, because that's completely incorrectly. That's not just a little bit incorrectly. Jagged is massively incorrect. So I hope that the rest of the voice acting in the game isn't going to be as bad as that. By the way, it's a little bit strange that there's lights all over the place. Like, this place is clearly still in use, and there's a lot of lights all over the place. So we can't go this way. There's an invisible wall over here.
Any sign of the pilot yet?
Your signal's breaking up. Repeat. We can't hear you. We're in a cave.
I think we should wait for them before we continue.
Get your shit together, Derek. Let's go.
Yeah, there's not even really dust in this place. I mean, there's a whole bunch of supplies here, and you can see it. It's nice. The place is nice and maintained, so yeah, we are definitely gonna find some humans in here, I think. This is a little bit unrealistic. You would just be able to remove this and then climb up there, so that's unrealistic. Fucking mosquito in my room now.
Derek, look.
Jesus, that's the pilot's arm! What the fuck did we get ourselves into?
You're a peacekeeper, man. Act like one.
How does he know that that's specifically the pilot's arm? Unless it has like a tattoo or something. So which way should we go? There's an elevator over here. Or some kind of a elevator.
Doesn't work.
The power's cut off by the looks of it.
I don't like the fact that they limit the speed of the character during dialogue.
Fuck.
Like right now, I can't sprint anymore.
God!
Oh, and the voiceover was just cut off there for some reason. I don't like that at all. Like, what's the point of putting voiceovers into the game if it's just gonna get cut off and interrupted? Like, you can't follow along with the story like that, with dialogue constantly getting interrupted. Control the camera using WS and D. Rotate the camera using Q and E, or holding middle mouse button. Press X to toggle camera zoom. Oh, so the camera can zoom, but why don't you allow the camera to zoom when outside of combat? Oh, okay, it's only these two options. It's this option and this option. That's fucking all. That's useless. Just two zoom options that aren't even that different. Okay, press shortcut to move, to select the move action, or select move destination using the cursor left click. Confirm move action. Why left click? Why not right click? I would really prefer it if it was left click. So you can point over there and left click, or you can point over there and press 1. Oh, but then you have to left click in anyway, so what the fuck is the point? You would just left click rather then. It's much easier. Why do they even do it like that? Use cover to gain an evasion bonus, making it harder for enemies to shoot you. Enemies also benefit from cover. Minus 60%, minus 30%. A raid cover symbol means the position is being flanked by the enemy. To flank the enemy yourself, move to the side or behind their cover. Okay, then press 1, or you can simply select the enemy. So distance minus 8%. So what's the total chance to hit? So it's obviously 60% minus 8%. But what's the total? It doesn't even show you the total. And that's the critical strike chance. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that is the chance to hit, and that is the chance to critical. They don't tell you that, but I know from playing a lot of these games that that is what it means. It would be nice if they told you here, like, whatever, hit, and then crit over here, so that people can actually know what these numbers are. And then you can focus aim by pressing C. What does that do? Oh, it costs more AP then. Okay, so that's interesting. So you can focus aim. You can spend more AP to do a focus aim. So we're obviously going to do that, I think. Okay, and then confirm.
Got you.
And then this guy is already in cover, and then we're just gonna shoot. So this is gonna cost 12. So that means we should be able to shoot twice with this one, hopefully. So we could spend more points to increase our hit chance, but I think it will be way better to just shoot twice at him. Because then you have 65 basically, or 63. So I think we're gonna do that. So shoot once. That's bullshit. Oh, okay. So you can only shoot once. That sucks.
Let's make this count.
So let's see. Exit. Oh, okay, I can't even press exit. The game isn't even allowing me to press exit right now. I'm pressing exit, but nothing's happening. So you can't get out of this at all. You literally cannot get out of this. So that's really shitty. So I'm thinking that the game makes you 100% miss that shot, which is really shitty in my opinion. And now we can't even quit this stage. So I'm gonna fuck up this this attempt, I guess I can say. Oh, is that what's supposed to happen? Okay, so that entire fight is just scripted, apparently. I don't like scripted fights.
Think Korban and Derek got through alright?
They better have. We're on the edge of civilization now. The only welcome is gunfire out here.
That kind of hostility. It's normal out here, huh?
Far too normal. Earned my rank in places just like this. We need to regroup now before Svetlov's dirty lapdogs pick up our scent. Let's keep moving.
Okay, so let's see. Let's save. And then let's load. Okay, so that one was that one. So let's try something here to see how bullshit the developers really are.
Steady. Get some.
Okay, so we have a 93% chance to hit. Okay, so it does actually hit. And then it's gonna kill him. And then we're gonna throw the grenade and it's gonna fall down. Okay, so this entire thing is scripted, completely scripted. It's not as scripted as what I thought with regards to the missing, you know, because I thought because we missed all of those shots earlier, it might have been completely scripted, but it's apparently not completely scripted. Which is good, because I don't like it when a game is completely scripted. But yeah, basically you're meant to not be able to complete that starting fight at all.
Derek's with me. The pilot is missing.
Your gear intact?
Affirmative. The bird's toast, though.
We see the smoke. Now listen up. Svetlov's followers might be brain dead, but they're not blind. Get the fuck away.
Yeah, we already heard all of this. Why are you telling us this again? You're literally replaying the same dialogue as what we heard earlier. Once again, completely linear. So how are we supposed to get over there? Do we have to go around or what?
In the face of evil, bless us with redemption. Eden spread biocrystal formations. They ravaged the mind and body without mercy.
Poor bastard. Look, there's a key around his neck.
Take it, but mind yourself. You don't want to end up like him.
Eden's safe, if you're immunized.
Those biocrystals are deadly, Private. We're not under the Sovereign's watchful eye here. Ignorance could cost us. We've got company.
Are those Eden mutations?
In the face of evil.
Bless us with redemption.
Mindlessly charges towards its prey to attack. Heavily mutated civilians who fell. Driven to... Okay, that doesn't matter. Most character skills in combat require AP. Each character's AP are restored each turn. Can be spent on movement, shooting and skills. Keep an eye on AP counters to better manage your AP reserve. Okay, but one thing that we already saw is that you can't attack twice in a row, which is pretty shitty in my opinion. But anyway, we're just gonna have to deal with it.
Time to get cracking.
Can you swap? Apparently you can swap. Because that's very important in games like this, being able to swap between different characters. So this guy's 20 fucking AP, but he's only going to be able to shoot once. That's really shitty. And I wonder, can you shoot and then move, or can you only shoot last, basically? Let's see. So that's 100% hit. Oh, so you can shoot more than once. Okay, so that's bullshit. So once again, that previous fight that we did was scripted to not even reflect the actual game, because I had more AP remaining and yet the game just completely did not allow me to use that AP. So that's really shitty. I hate it when a tutorial doesn't follow the logic of the game, because the player is learning how to play the game during the tutorial, and yet the tutorial doesn't reflect the game. You literally can't act twice during that tutorial part, and yet now you can act twice. So this is a really badly designed tutorial. So that has a three turn cooldown. So that will be 12 left. We actually need 16 left if we're gonna attack twice. So there's no way how we are gonna be able to act twice. So perhaps we should run away.
Enemies on the move. Time to dance.
Okay, well that's good. We only took one hit, whereas if we ran headlong into that fight, we definitely would have taken at least 2 hits. So that's good.
Good job. Red eliminated.
Yeah, that's the most efficient that we could have done that fight.
Of humanity once Eden gets to them. Keep your finger on the trigger if you want to live. Crash sites down this path. Looks like we'll have to get through the gate.
Voila.
These maps so far are incredibly large, and yet there's so few things to loot on them. Like if you think about the mine in the previous area, we weren't able to to loot anything in that entire area, and in this area we're only able to loot 2 things. So it's a massive fucking area. A lot of effort has been put into designing the maps, and yet there's so little things to do, even in the tutorial. I think it's a huge amount of wasted area. Why couldn't they just put a little bit of loot here and there, you know, a little bit of extra loot? Because this feels really fucking empty. Oh, and it seems the game actually has ammunition, like actually has ammunition. So that's really interesting. So it's definitely not like Baldur's Gate or XCOM 2, which has basically unlimited ammunition. In this game, your ammunition is actually limited. That's interesting. So we have rifle ammo now. Do these guys have different skills? Okay, so that guy has more accuracy and a little bit more AP as well. But we can give him a gun as well. So accuracy bonus 10, accuracy bonus 15. Okay, that might be why there's a difference in the accuracy, maybe. Or let's swap these guns. Can't put a secondary weapon into a primary slot. Oh, that's fucking stupid. So this is, you can't even give a guy a knife and a pistol, or you have to give him a knife and a bigger gun, like a knife and a rifle. That's really fucking stupid. Why would they implement such a limitation? That seems really restrictive, unnecessarily restrictive. That's one thing that is really fantastic about Baldur's Gate and XCOM 2 as well. The restrictiveness is very little. Like, you start out in XCOM 2 with a couple of characters, but they can, through leveling up, they can become whatever you want. They can become medics, they can become snipers, grenadiers, heavy gunners. You can literally customize your entire team with skills and guns any way you want, and obviously that's pretty much the same for Baldur's Gate as well. And in this game it seems really restrictive so far, which is obviously objectively worse than having more freedom than what the other games obviously have.
You should see this.
A recruitment poster for Svetlov's cult. Will you look at that? 10 benefits of joining. Brainwashing disguised as freedom. Sick fuck. Any sign of the pilot yet?
Your signal's breaking up. Repeat.
Pilot status. Repeat. Goddamn Stone Age tech.
How is a walkie-talkie Stone Age tech? Okay, handgun ammo we are gonna need. And then I guess we're also gonna need rifle ammo. Okay, these guys might not be friendly.
Who goes there? Peacekeepers, under direct sovereignty command. We need your ammunition to neutralize Svetlov's heretics.
We've given more than enough to your kind. Take your campaign elsewhere.
There must be a misunderstanding. We're not your enemy. We stand for unity under the sovereignty.
We recognize no sovereignty, and we sure as hell don't take orders from it.
Listen carefully. Refusal to cooperate is an act of defiance against the sovereignty. You defy the very peace it upholds.
Your peace is a plague here. Leave now, or we will have to defend our land.
We're done talking.
Apparently we are. We're just gonna murder some villagers. That's not very nice of the sovereignties people. Okay, so there's 2 melee guys over there. And then a ranged guy over there. So we obviously need to flank this guy. How much damage does this thing do? Doesn't even say the damage. Or am I stupid? Where can you see the damage? I really can't see the damage anywhere. So it even costs action points just to open the inventory. Action points will be refunded if no adjustments. Yeah, well, I just want to have a look. What's the damage of this thing? Damage 35. Okay, thank you very much. Why the fuck is it so difficult just to see the damage of the bloody items that we have? Okay, so... Oh, and you can't save. Okay, so I guess you can't save scum in this game. Or you can't directly save scum at least. So I'm not going to move closer to those guys. I'm just going to shoot this guy. Nice and easy.
Missed.
Okay, and that was a miss, so we load. It's going to be faster to save scum than it is to move around this guy.
Who? Peacekeeper. Lights out.
Okay, and then from here... Okay, we can't shoot again. But we can just back up a little bit. Maybe over in this direction, away from that guy. Okay, that guy's in the way apparently. So let's swap to this guy. No valid targets. Are you telling me I can't even shoot at that guy? So where does it show you the range? Like in XCOM 2 and in fact even in Baldur's Gate it shows you the range. So like there it showed the range. Here It shows the range, but you have to hold the thing for a while. Like here, are you seriously telling me from here you can't just shoot over there? That's fucking bullshit. How short is the fucking range in this game? Because that's hilariously short. That's what she said. Okay, well, let's just run over there, I guess.
Rolling out.
Changing position.
Okay, so you can shoot.
Lovely.
Hostile forces inbound. Weapons hot.
That guy is not going to be able to come close to us.
Copy.
Enemy is on the move.
War hostiles sighted. Prepare for contact.
Oh, that's fantastic. Reinforcements. Okay, so that's 87% hit chance. We can focus a little bit and then should be able to hit him 100%. And then we can use this guy to shoot that guy. Old lady with a fucking dagger. So we can just focus once again. I do like the fact that you can spend more AP to focus. That's a mechanic that you don't find in XCOM 2, for instance. It does make the game easier, obviously, but not, I think, unnecessarily so, you know? It's not, like, overpowered, I don't think. Since you are spending something to increase your range, or your chance to hit, basically.
Too easy.
And that guy actually was able to shoot at me. Okay, so this guy isn't going to be able to kill him in a single hit. So we're going to have to go to this guy. So we can shoot and then we can just focus.
Heads up. Reinforcements incoming.
That guy has a pistol, or a melee weapon at least. So since there are going to be reinforcements, we probably need to move closer, because I wasn't assuming that there would be reinforcements. The game doesn't seem to have Overwatch at all.
Prepare for reinforcements.
Like, Baldur's Gate and XCOM has Overwatch. Okay, 90%. We can spend a little to make it a 100% hit. And then this one. How is it constantly 90%? Even if I stand in her fucking face, it's 90%. That's fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. How do you see when you're in cover? Like, over here, will I be in cover or not? I would assume I'll be in fucking cover, but I don't think you can assume anything in this bloody game.
All right. Got movement at 12 o'clock. Ready. Gotta reload.
Die, Granny.
They had Eden biocrystal lesions.
That's what distrusting the Sovereign gets you. A quick spread of disease, followed by a bullet to the head. If these rebels had any sense, we wouldn't need to execute such measures.
They seemed defeated. Like they knew they didn't stand a chance. Like whatever they feared must have been worse than death itself.
Exactly. They're living proof of a world untamed by the Sovereignty's hand. Chaos, illness, paranoia. Nothing good comes of it.
Yeah, well, you guys were the ones who wouldn't stand down, so you're clearly not the fucking good guys in this whole situation. You just murdered like 8 people just because they were refusing to help you. You know, that's not very chill. So you can act like you're spreading justice or whatever, but you're just murderers in this game, apparently.
Half of those gravestones look fresh. They must have collectively decided to refuse the immunizer.
And now they're collectively paying the price. Keep moving.
In the face of evil, bless us with redemption.
This black French guy really sounds like Sylvester Stallone. Like if this game is using GI voiceovers, then they definitely added a little splash of Sylvester Stallone to his GI voiceover, because you can really hear little spatterings of Sylvester Stallone's iconic way of talking in his voice. You can ungroup move each character into an advantageous position to initiate an ambush. Watch enemy vision indicators. The enemy will strike first.
Sneak past him.
Good. Not really up for taking more innocent lives.
No, you guys apparently enjoy it.
It's the ammo you should worry about.
You guys apparently love taking innocent lives.
Here comes trouble.
So, what the fuck is the use of like sneaking if they can move before you can move? Like really, what's the use? Okay, so that one. Can't I shoot that one? Unreachable target. How? How is that possible? Are you seriously telling me I can't shoot that guy over there? I want to check something.
Conserve ammo. Sneak past him.
Good. Not really up for taking more innocent lives.
Fuck their lives.
Yeah, apparently that's the way you guys work. Fuck their lives, apparently. Okay, so if you press spacebar, then you act first. If they spot you, which for some reason they can even spot you if they're not looking at you, then they move first. So that's how it works. So this guy, we're just gonna knifey. Stab in the back. Stab in the back. Oh, and we can miss apparently. At fucking melee range. How can you miss at melee range? That's bullshit.
Well executed.
Okay, well now the other guy will definitely have heard us.
Copy.
Buckle up. Standing by.
So here, basically, we will need to flank him like that. So we have a 90% hit over there. We're not going to get much better than that.
Good job.
You spend a little bit of ammo, but you get more ammo out of the deal at the end of the day. So I don't know why you would want to avoid battles in this game. It is a little bit strange, honestly, that ammo is consumable in this game, but I mean, if they aren't too restrictive with the ammo, then I guess it's not really gonna even impact your gameplay, really. But honestly, it is strange. It is definitely strange that they do it like that.
Damn. Just noticed my grappling hook's damaged.
Then fix it.
I need a new cable.
All right, let's stay on the lookout for one. I can smell the wreckage. Aluminum, ash, burnt plastic. We're close.
So we did pick up a sickle. Let me see. Can I give the sickle to this guy? Secondary melee. Yeah, but you see now, like, you can't even do this. So I can't give the gun, the sickle to that guy and then put the gun in the main hand. That's incredibly idiotic, honestly. This is so fucking stupid. So what's the difference between this one and this one? Okay, so the game doesn't even allow you to compare items. So you have to go like this. 30 damage, 20 damage. 0 accuracy bonus, 0 accuracy bonus. 1 max range, 1 max range. Crit chance 35, crit chance 30. So this one is better because it has 10 more damage. And then I put that one over there. Like, that is the most obtuse, fucking, unnecessarily tedious way of comparing items ever. Why couldn't they just add a comparing thing to the game? It's fucking stupid. Okay, you guys are probably, yeah, you're definitely not gonna be friendly. I can tell you that much. So, ungroup, and then we take this guy, bring him a little bit closer, like over here maybe.
Vultures already scavenging Sovereign's property. Hey! Get your hands off my chopper!
Our tough, our rules. Leave, or you go down like your buddy did.
Got enough firepower to back up that big mouth of yours.
Only one way to find out.
Blah blah blah. No information really. Okay, so these guys have 50 health, which is quite a lot. I should actually give this gun to that guy, because that guy will be able to shoot twice with the gun. So let's do that, because that will actually be a really big difference, being able to shoot once versus being able to shoot twice. But now this guy is not gonna be able to do melee attacks at all. That's so fucking stupid. Like, seriously. It is hilariously stupid, this fucking system that they have here.
Stay put. Fuck. Here we go.
So all of these guys have guns. I can't zoom in to see what weapons they have at all. Like, if you look over here, like, is that guy armed with a weapon, like a gun? He's clearly not armed with a rifle like these guys are. But you can't even zoom in. Like, you can't really see. You can't right-click to inspect the enemies. Like, even in Baldur's Gate or XCOM 2, you can right-click to inspect enemies. In this game, you can't do that. Even at the top right. Okay, more info. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that doesn't help us at all. Like, it doesn't help. It doesn't tell you what weapon the guy has. Nothing like that. So, I also assume that most of the enemies don't have the same amount of AP, you know, so it doesn't even tell you if they have different AP or anything like that. This guy clearly has like an AK-47, and this guy, you can actually see from the corner, if you look over here, it looks like he has a pistol, maybe. That guy as well, probably. But this guy is a smuggler vulture, and this guy is also a smuggler vulture. All of these guys are smuggler vultures, and yet they have different weapons. So you have the same named enemies, and yet they are different, which really doesn't make sense. So yeah, as far as determining threats, the threats that the various enemies pose, good fucking luck with that. It's not really gonna be super possible to do that. So what I would want to do is kill these two guys immediately, but that guy's out of range. So I can maybe kill these, well, at least this guy immediately, and then this guy, I can probably hit him once. So if we do this, we should be able to hit this guy immediately and add a little bit of focus so that we definitely hit him.
Who's next?
And then
Ready.
this guy should be able to hit this guy once, hopefully.
Well done.
Oh, that was a critical. Very nice. And then this guy. Yeah, that's good. We can't do too much more than that.
Got enemy movement.
But already the fact that I was able to give this guy at the bottom
Piece of shit.
the rifle means he can shoot twice, which is something that you wouldn't normally be able to do. So that guy has the rifle, but he's out of range of my pistol. He's just out of range. Like, oh no, wait, that's the... Who has the pistol?
What's up?
Yeah. So this guy is just out of range of my pistol. This guy will be able to hit, but not without adding a lot of focus, which we definitely can do. I mean, that guy we should be able to hit without any problem. And then this guy, 75%. We can take a chance and hit him and then try to hit him as well. This guy is the real chance, so let's see if we can hit him. Okay, that's good. That means he's pretty much guaranteed to be dead.
You gotta be
Okay, that was 84% that we missed, unfortunately.
Enemy eliminated. Taking damage.
Yes. Target hit. Those people didn't look like any villagers or miners I've ever seen.
They had some military training. Not completely useless. But not sovereignty tactics either.
So in that fight, how many bullets did we spend? We spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We spent about 8 bullets. And we picked up 3 bullets. So that was a net loss of about 5 bullets. So yeah, overall you do lose bullets.
That explains the radio break.
Overall you do basically lose bullets overall. But I mean, you can just craft bullets again, you know, it's not it doesn't seem very expensive to craft the bullets. We also picked up an Uzi, a TAC-9 as it's called. So this is a primary weapon and it shoots handgun ammo. And then what's the okay, so it's a burst. Max range 12 meters, max range 10 meters. Okay, so the range of this one is actually more. It does do slightly less damage, 22 damage versus 25 damage per bullet. But the ammo magazine is obviously a lot more. it costs 10 to shoot, whereas this one costs 5 to shoot, but you are shooting 3 bullets at a time. Accuracy bonus minus 10%. So you're gonna burn through ammo quite a bit more, but I would say overall you have to take the AP cost into consideration as well, and you're gonna be able to do a lot more damage per AP spent with a weapon like this than what you are able to do with a weapon like this. And then on top of that, you can put this one in your primary slot and then put a weapon there, a melee weapon. So due to the fact that the game is so fucking stupid, you can't even have like a pistol and a weapon, melee weapon. This is basically the second choice. You know, have a weapon which basically does what the pistol does, but then at least you are able to have a melee weapon, whereas you're not able to have a melee weapon equipped with the pistol. So it's a compromise, but I think it's better overall. I still think it's fucking idiotic that you can't have a pistol and a melee weapon, but anyway. Okay, so we took a little bit of damage. We took like 10 damage in that one, and we lost all of our armor. I wonder, how do you get your armor back? I was almost assuming you would get your armor back after each fight, but apparently that's not the case. You don't get your armor back after each fight.
Another Eden growth. This is worse than I thought. Wasn't the spread supposed to be under control by now?
Enough questions. Keep it moving.
So now we can loot herbs here where previously we weren't able to loot herbs. How does that make any sense?
Check this out.
What is it?
Pharmaceutical equipment. All still boxed up, unused.
Oh, and now this these two boards, which I said would be so fucking easy to move, are now magically moved.
This place looks like an abandoned mine.
Probably was. The Sovereignty used to have these territories in order, before the savages threw everything into chaos.
Seems like they've repurposed it for something else now.
More lab equipment.
They don't strike me as scientists, though. Why would they be moving all this?
They're smuggling it. Lucrative business these days, if you don't have a conscience.
Smugglers, huh? That would explain the remote location.
Damn lawless scum.
This guy is talking about don't have a conscience, but you murdered 8 people. You murdered 8 villagers. So this guy is either a sociopath or the developers are not very good at keeping a story straight.
How long have you been doing this, Commander?
Long enough to know. The Sovereignty is the reason we're not all dead.
Must have been something, seeing it all go to hell and back.
Hell, we can use this.
Military equipment? Guess these people aren't just honest workers.
No surprise there.
Okay, so we just got another interrupted dialogue. That's the second time that dialogue has been interrupted.
Shit. Arms up. This creature won't go down easy. Brace yourself.
Well, don't engage it right now. Why would you engage it right now? So much for sneaking. I mean, they had a tutorial earlier about sneaking, but I guess that doesn't work in many situations. So how much damage will this barrel do, I wonder? There's also a shotgun over there. So the sniper, we can put the sniper over here. Or maybe keep him over here. The issue is we might not be able to shoot from every location, and obviously we don't want to keep our guys together too much. We actually want to split our guys up very slightly. So I guess, oh well, that's not in range. In range would be over here, over here, over here. Yeah, basically over here is the last place that we are in range. And then the hit chance is only 50. So that means if we shoot 3 bullets, we only have a 150% chance of hitting 2 of them. So that's not very good odds. Honestly, I would just move back a little bit and let the enemy come towards me a little bit more. Maybe move over here, for instance.
Standing by.
And then this guy... What's the hit rate? 90. Okay, that's good. So I will be able to shoot once and then move. That was a 93% chance to hit and you fucking missed.
Changing position.
Okay, so now the issue is we just want to hit that barrel once, but this guy is gonna do a triple shoot. So obviously you don't want to do that necessarily. So I guess we can shoot with this guy.
I'm rolling.
Well, his range doesn't seem that long. You know, he's walking range, so we should be more or less fine over here, I think. So we need to get... Well, we can shoot that, although he's already burning. But it will do a fair amount of damage. But I need to get this guy out of there. So we can run over there, and then 7 left. We need at least 10 left in order to shoot. But that's not really gonna be possible in this scenario. Unless we go over here. Is that in range? Let's have a look. Yeah, so right over there should be fine. So we can actually shoot and then move. Okay, so we're not going to be able to shoot twice. So we're just going to shoot the barrel.
Brace yourself.
I'm taking hits!
Killing time.
Ready.
$15 damage. How are you only doing 15 damage? That doesn't seem like a whole lot. Incoming damage reduced by 50%. Oh, okay. So it won't be very smart to attack him right now. Let's see, are you warned when walking through the fire? No, you aren't even warned when walking through the fire, so that's fucking stupid. So you can completely accidentally walk through the fire because the game doesn't even warn you about the fire. That's really stupid. So I'm not even gonna bother shooting him right now. Just gonna run away basically. Because that 50% reduced damage is pretty brutal. Okay, now he's not enraged anymore. Okay, what does disorientated mean? Cannot use any actions apart from move. For 2 turns, wow. That's pretty brutal.
Ever seen one of those things before?
No, but there are no guarantees with Eden. It mutates unpredictably, just like it behaves. So stay sharp.
Look at this biocrystal. We can use this.
Equip it through the biocrystal interface used to upgrade your characters with a unique active and passive skills to enhance their core status. Some biocrystals have negative effects. Never miss a shot. Every missed shot deals partial damage. Never miss a shot. Every missed shot deals partial damage. What the fuck? That's counterintuitive. So you're saying you can never miss a shot, but if you do miss a shot, you deal partial damage. How does that make any sense? That is completely nonsensical. How does that... I don't understand. Unless that first part is just bullshit, and what it should actually be saying is it gives you 5 extra accuracy and then every missed shot deals partial damage. That's what it should be saying. I'm assuming that first part is just complete bullshit. Why do they even put that into the game? Why do they lie to you like that or mislead you? Like, that's fucking idiotic. That's like saying adds 20 damage, and then in the second thing saying adds 1 damage. Like, it doesn't actually add 20 damage, it just adds 1 damage. The same with this crystal. It doesn't actually make you never miss a shot. Nothing of the kind. It's fucking stupid. So he picked up a shotgun. Max range 7 meters, which is very little. The damage is 24 to 60. So that's the first gun so far that has a damage range, actually, 24 to 60. Whereas all of the other ones have specific damages. Max ammo 2. And then 10 AP to shoot. So it's not even really more powerful than the pistol, because the pistol does 25 damage. This does a minimum of 24 damage. And then the range is also very, very short. So yeah, not particularly good, but once we run out of rifle ammo or handgun ammo, I guess we can swap to the shotgun maybe. I don't know, the shotgun doesn't seem very good at all. We can craft more rifle ammo. Rifle ammo is actually very expensive. It uses double the amount of gunpowder than what the handgun ammo does. So handgun ammo is more efficient currently. Okay, so this room is just a dead end. We didn't need to fight that boss, but the game forces you to fight the boss apparently.
We've got more free live cargo here. Come get some, you bastards.
Live cargo?
Killing time!
Yeah, once again, you just get pulled directly into battle. So this game isn't at all like XCOM 2 or Baldur's Gate, where you can actually plan the battle. You can take an advantage in battle by sneaking around. This game doesn't have anything like that at all, even though we did have a sneaking tutorial type thing earlier, but apparently that was just complete bullshit, because it's now the how manyth battle, the third battle in a row, that you just immediately get pulled into the battle. So I think that's really stupid. So we are obviously going to try to shoot that one over there and this one over here. We can shoot this one over here immediately. This guy has a melee weapon, it looks like.
Ready.
This guy can't shoot that at all. So I don't think we're really going to be able to shoot that one and this one. Unless I take this guy and I run over here and then shoot over there. That's maybe possible. So yeah, from here we can do that. But then I only have 8 left. That's not enough to shoot. Over here I have 10 left, but that's not enough to shoot over there. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to hit that one over there currently, I don't think. Unless I take this guy and I run over here. And then shoot that one. and then take this guy and run over here and shoot that one. But I don't want to shoot a barrel that's gonna take 3 ammo. That's not very good. I might be able to kill this guy in a single hit.
Look sharp.
You've got them.
So he was dead after the second hit, and yet we still shot the third bullet. Which is stupid, but anyway.
All right. Prepare for reinforcements.
Oh, we're gonna get reinforcements. That's not good. Where are the reinforcements gonna come from? It doesn't even show you. Like in XCOM it shows you. In this game apparently it doesn't show you.
Heads up. Reinforcements incoming.
Armored brutes shooting several targets at once. Injuries, yeah, blah blah blah. Yep. Burn, baby, burn. So we don't need to care about that guy right now.
Here.
So how do you enrage the guy? Injuries trigger enraged. How do you trigger it? How do you trigger enraged? Okay, there he's enraged.
And stay down. En route. Buckle up.
So both of those guys are burning, so it doesn't really benefit me to engage them in a full-out battle right now. It's better if I just let the fire do the work.
Time to dance.
I really wish the game had Overwatch. So we can't really do too much here right now. I can find better cover for this guy, because he's only in half cover, not full cover. It would also be nice if the game showed you where full cover and half cover is, like in Baldur's Gate and XCOM 2. The game shows you where full cover and half cover is, but not in this game. So it doesn't seem there's anywhere with full cover. Everywhere is just half cover. So I can shoot that guy, maybe.
Ready.
Or I can just go punch him. And I need 4 more. Well, if he moves any closer, then I should be able to go punch him, but let's shoot him in anyway.
Target hit. Commander, Derek's dead. So is the pilot.
Shit.
What now?
You see Corbin's body?
Not here, no.
Corbin, do you copy? No response. Let's keep moving.
Okay, but I will obviously be able to loot their weapons, because, I mean, I had weapons. The guys that we played as at the beginning had weapons.
Very old Sovereign model. It was used to operate grounded machinery. Still functional. Wow.
So we didn't get any weapons. So how does that make any sense? The game is not logical. Our people that we played as at the beginning, both of them had weapons. The one guy is lying dead here, the other guy I think is lying dead here. He said one of them died. I don't know. There's 2 dead guys here on the ground. I should have gotten at least 1 weapon from my characters that died at the beginning. and yet there's nothing. There's not any bullets, there's not any of the weapons that we had, nothing like that. So that's really irritating because the game is just not logical, you know. It's now not the first time that we've noticed something that is not logical at all, and we are like, what, an hour and a half into the game. So if you find many things already, I think it's like the third thing that we found so far that isn't logical, at least. If you find three things that's not logical in the first not even 2 hours of playing the game, that really pisses me off. In a game which really doesn't do anything special, the game really has to rely heavily on the story. The story has to be the main reason why you would play the game, because without the story, why wouldn't you just go play a better game that's better, that has better mechanics, you know, that plays better, a game that has better um, game mechanics? Why wouldn't you just go play another game, you know? So this game has to rely heavily on um, the um, the actual gameplay, and the game doesn't have good gameplay. So that's out of the window. You know, the game doesn't have better gameplay than Baldur's Gate. It doesn't have better gameplay than uh, even some of the older games like Fallout 2, for instance. Fallout 1 or Fallout 2 doesn't have better gameplay than XCOM 2. So the game doesn't have better gameplay, and it doesn't have better story. The story so far has a bunch of holes in it, doesn't make sense. Um, so, you know, not good story, not good gameplay. Why would you pay $25 for a game that is inferior in so many ways? The gameplay is inferior, and the story is also inferior. Why would you pay $25 for that? You know, I just don't understand why anyone would do that when clearly there are far better options on the market. You know, I mean, Baldur's Gate, how much does Baldur's Gate even cost, really? I bought it a long time ago. Let's see, I think it's $50. It's $60. So it's more than double what this game is. But I mean, Baldur's Gate is a good game, you know. I don't know if it's really worth $60 because Baldur's Gate, it does have some issues. I have done a review on the game long ago when the game released, like almost 2 years ago now. I also did a review of Baldur's Gate when the game was still in early access, and I did not recommend the game when it was still in early access. But obviously, since then, many new improvements have been done to the game, so the game should be less buggy and less terrible now. Um, I mean, Baldur's Gate is a good game. There's no doubt about that. But I've said this before. It's not a better game than Division 2. Not Division 2. What am I talking about? Divinity 2. It's not a better game than Divinity 2. So I would much rather recommend a game like Divinity 2, you know, Divinity Original Sin 2, than Baldur's Gate. So let's get that straight out of the door. Divinity 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, is a far better game than Baldur's Gate 3. And I mean, these days you should be able to get Divinity 2. Let's check. Divinity 2. right now costs $45, which is good. I would say the game is probably worth $45, but you can get the game on sale uh, pretty often for as little as $15, which obviously is like a no-brainer. You know, Divinity Original Sin 2 is absolutely worth $15. You know, there's no fucking doubt about that. And then if you really want to, even though I wouldn't do that, you could get the game on key reseller websites, but I really don't recommend that unless it's a game from like Electronic Arts or Nintendo or Square Enix or um, any of those really immoral companies. You know, I don't have any problem recommending that you use key reseller websites for any of those companies, you know, or Rockstar or Ubisoft, you know, any of those really immoral companies. I don't have any problem with that. But Larian Studios, you know, it's an okay company. It's definitely not the paragon of companies, but Larian is okay, you know. They aren't too egregious or unscrupulous with their DLC practices, which is something that I consider immoral. If you stuff your fucking games full of DLC and turn a $10 game into a $100 game, like a like a studio like Electronic Arts does, for instance, then I absolutely see that as something that is immoral, and I absolutely would recommend that people pirate or use the grey market for studios like that. But Larian Studios is not really a studio that falls under that umbrella, to be honest. So, um, Divinity Original Sin 2, I would say, is definitely worth $45, and it's definitely a better game than this game is. You know, Chains of Freedom, definitely a better game than this game, and then a less good alternative to Divinity Original Sin 2 would be Baldur's Gate 3. As I said, that's $60. Um, you know, Baldur's Gate 3, I wouldn't really say it's worth $60. You can get better games than that for $60, such as Divinity Original Sin 2. But I mean, if you have $60, you know, I guess you could spend your money in a worse way. You know, it's not the worst $60 that you'll ever have spent. So the Baldur's Gate 3 is an alternative, even though I would rather suggest Divinity Original Sin 2. And then the obvious example, which I already have made, is XCOM 2. XCOM 2 right now costs a hilarious $60, which I don't think XCOM 2 is worth $60 at all. But the game does go on sale pretty regularly for like $3, even $5. So I would absolutely recommend XCOM 2 for $5. And unfortunately, the developers behind XCOM 2 is 2K, and 2K is one of the most immoral game developers on the planet. They are right up there with Electronic Arts and Activision and all of those really immoral companies. So I would absolutely recommend that you either pirate or visit the grey market for XCOM 2. Any of the games from 2K should get that same treatment, but I would say that XCOM 2 is worth $5. So if you can get XCOM 2 for around $5 on Steam, you know, that's fine. Even though, like I say, I have absolutely no problem pirating their games. Any games from 2K, to be honest. But yeah, XCOM 2 is a really, really good game. And as I already said, XCOM 2 and Divinity Original Sin 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 all offer you far more character customization and character options than what this game does. This game offers you no customization with regards to your guns or your weapons. In fact, it even does some really, really shitty things, such as not being able to have a pistol and a melee weapon at the same time. So you can't have a pistol and a melee weapon. When you try to add the melee weapon, you can't do it. So you have to have a melee weapon or a pistol, because that is how limiting this game is. And that's just fucking hilarious. The fact that you can either have a ranged character with a pistol, or you can have a melee character with a melee weapon. There are no alternatives at the beginning of the game until you get more primary weapons. That's just massively limiting, really, really limiting. It's already really limiting in the fact that they only limit you to having two slots. That's already more limiting than a game like XCOM 2, for instance, which has a lot of uh, uh, weapons. You know, you can have multiple weapons equipped at any one time in XCOM 2. So that's more limiting than that, and there are no classes in the game. So apart from the fact that this guy, how can I even show you? I can't even show you the abilities. Where's the abilities? You see, I can't even show you the abilities. You can't even see the abilities of the character. So this guy has like a melee hit ability, which stuns an enemy. And then this guy, I don't think this guy has any ability. I don't think this guy has any special ability. So this guy is the only guy that has any special ability, and it's not the ability that you can choose. It's literally just one ability, you know. So it's really, really limiting, to be honest. The game overall is just massively limiting, you know. So if you compare this game to Baldur's Gate or XCOM 2 or Divinity Original Sin 2, there's just no freedom. This game has no freedom with regards to the classes, you know. Whereas all of the other three games that I've mentioned, and many other games besides those three games, allow you to play the game with a character of your own creation in many of the instances. You know, you can choose your weapons, you can choose your skills. The game has a much, much, much more in-depth character progression system than what this game does. It seems this game's only character progression is these biocrystals, because there's no experience in this game at all. There's no experience. You can't gain experience as you can in the three other games that I mentioned. All of those other games have experience and level ups and skill points and talent trees and extra skills. This game has none of that. So it's a massive step down with regards to the character fantasy and character progression in the game, and freedom as well. And then the crafting, the crafting so far can only do consumables. So it seems you can only do consumables. You can't even make your guns better or enhance your guns as you can in a game like XCOM 2, for instance. XCOM 2 has some really, really fantastic gun and weapon modification options. And yeah, like honestly, I just can't bring myself to recommend this game for $25. It's just such a far cry from the other contemporary games that this game is competing against, you know. As I said, Baldur's Gate 3 is exactly the same as this game. It just offers you so much more freedom, so much more class and character progression, so much better voice acting. Graphically, it's so much more superior. You can say the same about XCOM 2, you can say the same about Divinity Original Sin 2. You can say the same about Wasteland 3. That's another game that I haven't even mentioned yet. Wasteland 3 is actually a really fantastic turn-based RPG. It is right up there with games like Divinity Original Sin 2 and XCOM 2. Like really, Wasteland 3 is really good. And yeah, I just really can't recommend this game. Even though this game is cheaper, on the face of it, it's cheaper than any of the other games that I've mentioned. The other games that I've mentioned will go on sale and do go on sale for less than $30. XCOM 2 you can get for $5. Divinity Original Sin 2 you can get for $15. Baldur's Gate. Let me see what's the cheapest that Baldur's Gate has ever been at. Also, another issue with the game is the fact that the game freezes completely when you alt tab the game, which obviously is not good. The cheapest that Baldur's Gate 3 has ever been is $45, which, yeah, that's pretty rough. I would buy the game for $45. I wouldn't really buy the game for $60. And in fact, in euro, it costs $67 right now, which is really fucking insane. So if you're in Europe, you have to pay $67 for the game. Actually, $68, which is really crazy. But yeah, honestly, you can get all of the other games for around the same price, some of them even cheaper. I'm sure Wasteland 3 you will also be able to get for cheaper. And those games that I mentioned aren't just a little bit better, they are significantly better. I would rather want to play like XCOM 2, Baldur's Gate 3, any of those other games than playing this game anymore. Really, all that this game does is it reminds me that I haven't yet finished Baldur's Gate 3, and I also haven't yet finished Wasteland 3 either. That's really all that this game makes me want to do. It makes me want to play better TRPGs, and there are many, many fantastic TRPGs out there. So yeah, honestly, I can't recommend this game for $25. And in fact, even if this game was $10 or $5, I just really wouldn't play it because me personally, I really enjoy the character customization, the character progression, the party fantasy that games like XCOM 2, Divinity Original Sin, Baldur's Gate 3 offers you. You just can immerse yourself so much more into those games than what you can in this game. I'm not invested in the fucking slightest with these characters after 2 hours with the game. And if I compare that with the first 2 hours of XCOM, the first 2 hours with Baldur's Gate, the first 2 hours with Divinity Original Sin, I was invested with those characters. I was invested with my party already within 2 hours. And with this game, that is just not the case at all. And then obviously, in addition to that, you cannot rebind the keys at all. There's no key rebinding available in the game whatsoever. You also cannot change the frame rate. The game doesn't allow you to change the frame rate to anything. So 30 FPS, 60 FPS, 90 FPS, 120 FPS, 144 FPS. The game doesn't allow you to select any of those options whatsoever. The quality options are not sufficient. You should be able to change all of the different quality options individually, like shadow quality, texture detail, character detail, draw distance, vegetation detail, all of that kind of stuff, and environmental detail. And as I also said, the difficulty options aren't explained at all, apart from the very last one with downed allies must be revived. That's the only thing that is actually explained. None of the other stuff is actually explained. And then every time that you alt-tab the game completely freezes. As you can see, the game completely freezes when you alt-tab the game. So, yeah, honestly, I can't recommend the game. All that this game makes me want to do is it makes me want to finish Wasteland 3 and finish Baldur's Gate 3, which I have not done yet. The game also doesn't allow you to zoom in, which is really stupid. That's really, really stupid. And you are given no information with regards to the enemies. In all of the other games that I mentioned, you can right-click on the enemies and then inspect the enemies to see their abilities in many cases, their armor, their weapons, that kind of stuff. In this game, you can't even do that. So it's supposed to be a tactical RPG or a turn-based RPG, but there's very little tacticality. Is tacticality a word? I think it's a word now. There's very little tacticality in this game at all, and certainly there's far less tacticality in this game than what there is in the other games that I mentioned. So yeah, guys, can't recommend the game at all. I'm just really gonna uninstall this game, and all this game makes me want to do is it reminds me that I haven't finished Baldur's Gate or Wasteland 3 yet. So I'm probably gonna switch over to those games pretty soon, because I actually really haven't played those games in quite a while. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. As I said at the beginning, the developer sent me a code for the game. But in the instances where a developer doesn't send me a code for the game, I very much rely on you guys and my Patreon supporters to allow me and enable me to purchase more games, to do more reviews for you guys. So if there's a specific game that you want me to review, or you just simply want to enable me to do more reviews, then your support on patreon.com/LFP would be very much appreciated. I've had exactly 2 people ask me in the past month or so to review Monster Hunter Wilds, I think, is the new one. And I told them I'm not gonna spend $60 or $70, whatever it is, on a Monster Hunter game that comes from a studio that is, in my opinion, an immoral studio, I'm just not gonna do that. I played and reviewed the previous Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Worlds, and I didn't like the game at all. So if you want me to review a specific game, you're gonna have to donate some money on my Patreon. And if you don't, then honestly, what can I do? You know, I don't have like whatever, just money coming out of my ears. I spend all of the money that I get from my Patreon on games, you know. So if you want to see a specific game reviewed, then honestly, if you're not a Patreon supporter, then you know, you can't really complain too much. But if you are, then just message me and tell me you want this game reviewed or you want that game reviewed, and that you are a Patreon supporter, then I will absolutely make a concerted effort to review a specific game of your choosing. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. It's also really funny that this guy has a light, that guy doesn't have a light, and then when we swap, this guy all of a sudden has a light, and this guy doesn't have a light. So that's also not very realistic at all.